Hey guys, Infidel 1258 here. I wanted to do a detailed analysis of the green splinter that I've been renting on this journey from, rent to earn. Spent $30 worth of dark energy crystals in Splinterlands to rent an entire deck of cards, and I'm showing how well you can win if you do the same thing. And in today's video, I specifically want to focus on which. Sorry, I'm a little distracted because I'm forming my team here. I want to specifically focus on which cards I used within the Earth Splinter. People are asking, what cards do you specifically use, and help me win with the Earth Splinter. Well, you can do it if you go in. We just register that team. We're going to push aside that window. We're going to go over here. This is my exact Earth Splinter team, and we can break it down on how much it costs, and which cards will really work and which don't. I found the Flesh Golem is super important. I use Xander Foxwood. Early on, I had like a level 2 of this guy, and I've upgraded him to a level 5 for 45 dark energy crystals a day. That's a pretty very inexpensive summoner, and he's allowing me to be very competitive even in gold. The team I love playing, and when I run this team, what I usually do is, if I have about 23 mana cap, I do Flesh Golem, Failed Summoner, in this order: Flesh Golem for your tank, Failed Summoner as in your second position, Wood Nymph in third position, Barking Spider, and Earth Elemental, in that order. And the reason I do that is Flesh Golem's got the heal. He's got the hit points on the front end. He does 3 damage at the level I'm rocking. Then you've got the Failed Summoner who does Magic Reflect in the second position, and also who protects you against enemy snipers. And then the Wood Nymph is going to provide a secondary heal on my tank and do 1 magic damage. Then you've got the Earth Elemental, who actually does 3 archery damage at the level that we're using. And the Barking Spider does 2 archery damage at the level that we have rented, and also has a characteristic that's called Blind, which takes a 15% chance that your enemy is going to miss their melee or archery damage. So that's a great team, and I find it wins quite often. And the cost on that, to give you some numbers, the cost on that for 1 day is going to be 170 dark energy crystals to rent all of these cards. And some of them I wouldn't rent, actually. Don't bother with the Magi of the Forest unless you're going to pay for a higher card. Even though it's only at 1.5 dark energy crystals, I find it's just really not worth it. He just has too few hit points. That's practically free. It's literally, in my opinion, that's literally free, considering I get 40 dark energy crystals per win. But I just don't use him, so don't rent it. So there's that. And then what else? The Stone Splitter Orc is great, but I don't like him at these lower levels, and so I don't play him very often. So while it's only 9 dark energy crystals a day, maybe you can save them. The Javelin Thrower is great, but I only play him when there's higher mana caps. Yeah, the Spirit Druid Grog, 30 dark energy crystals a day, and I don't know that he's worth that. He's pretty niche. I only like to really play this card when the rule set includes all monsters have the same number of hit points. And then in that case, because he's got Vampire and because he's got Resurrect and magic damage, I usually throw him in. So food for thought. And there's other cards that you could consider adding to this team instead of these ones, instead of the Grog and instead of the Stone Splitter. Maybe you would get, let's look. There are some other cards in here for sure. Let's go over to Earth. What are some cards I really like? I mean, some of these cards, I don't know what the cost would be, but Kron the Undying is an amazing card. If you're looking for a level 3, if you're getting to gold, you're going to be looking for a level 3. $500 a day is 500 dark energy crystal a day is quite expensive. I would argue that's probably not worth it. Um, and they're all pretty expensive. So let's move on. Oops. Let's look at some of the Swamp Thing. But this is pretty cheap. Kind of not. 100 dark energy crystal a day is not cheap. See, this is the part where it gets a bit slow and choppy. Like you'd have to come through here and spend some time really delving into these cards, understanding what they would offer your team and whether they're going to make you stronger, or like what are your personal weaknesses and can you solve them with one or two cards. The answers are in here for your specific needs. However, I don't know your specific needs, and what I've done over here in my team is build a generic team that wins. It doesn't have, 20 different options. It has kind of two different options, and it works often, or most of the time even. But there are great cards in here that I haven't rented, and some of them are going to be cheap. One good idea if you're looking for deals is come through and look at how many cards are listed for rent. Like this one has 700 cards for rent. This one has 1,000 cards for rent. These ones that have higher numbers of possible rentals, there's an increased likelihood that you're going to find a deal, right? Because 600 people are selling this card. One of them is probably giving it for a good price. Let's see. 170. That's a maxed out one. 120 gold. See, level 4, what the? Level 3 for 8 dark energy crystals. I don't know. I mean, level 3 is probably going to do 1 magic damage. There's not going to be any triage heal, I don't think. But it's only a 2 mana cost. So, you come through and you're going to poke around in here and you're going to find some deals. The Goblin Sorcerer can be a really powerful sneak attack card with magic. Level 10 for 45 dark energy crystals. If we scroll down, we can get a cheaper one for level 8. Is still quite... Look at that. 35 dark energy crystals for the gold version. That's a strong card. Plus the gold is going to give you a buff on your wins. So I won't go any deeper on that, but that's what I do. I go through and I look at every single card that I recognize and I understand how to play with. I know how to build a team where I'm going to focus on sneak attack damage. And this is one of the cards I would look for in the green Splinter, in the Earth Splinter, if I was trying that play. And then I go through and I try and find prices that are fair. And you'll have to do that by yourself and take a half an hour doing it. But you're going to find a team that is both affordable and allows you to win and profit if you do it wisely. And this is one example right here in front of you. If you want to just copy and paste, this is what I do to win in silver and even gold. This deck wins in gold. So this is only 170 dark energy crystals a day. And if you rented it for 2 weeks, that's the length of a season. So 170 times 14 equals, it would cost you 2,400 dark energy crystals. This is about half the price of the water splinter team that I rented. So, this is a cheap team, a really cheap team. And you're going to win 30 dark energy crystals per win in silver, roughly. If you can win 15 games a day, which you probably could if you play this for a couple hours, with this deck alone, you're going to win 450 dark energy crystals per day. And again, times 14. So this is how much dark energy crystal you stand to gain with this deck every season, not counting your daily rewards or your season rewards. And from that, you would take away the 2,400 that the deck costs. So we subtract our expenditure. So see, I'm taking away 2,400 up here. That's what the cards are going to cost you. So we take away that from here. You're going to make 3,900 dark energy crystals every 2 weeks playing this game, which is approximately 20 to 25 US dollars, getting paid to play a game. And not only that, you're going to get cards from your daily rewards, your season rewards. Sometimes you're going to get dark energy crystals from those rewards. Sometimes you're going to get an amazing gold foil legendary card that's worth 500 US dollars. I have. And it'll happen again to people like yourself. So this game pays you for your time and attention, and it's a lot of fun. Uh, that's how I win with green. And if you're interested, stick around and we'll show you all the other splinters too. Thanks for your time and attention. Have an amazing day. God bless.